Do not let poaching eggs scare you. It's one of the easiest procedures to do, and it's one of the healthiest way to cook eggs. You are going to love these techniques. For some reason, some of the most common questions I have are all around eggs. So I'm going to show you how to perfectly poach an egg so that it's absolutely delicious every time. And I'm going to do my best to get exact times so you will get a perfect over easy, over medium, and over hard poached egg every single time. Sound good? Let's cook. So what I'm going to do is pull out some eggs directly from the refrigerator. These are brown eggs, but this recipe will absolutely work with plain white eggs or even fresh farm eggs, which oftentimes have different colors. So just to show you what a fresh egg should do, and these are all fresh, fill up a bowl with some cold water and add the eggs in there. If they sink to the bottom, they are absolutely fresh. If they float to the top, I might not be using those. So what we want to do to start with a poached egg is simply crack it right into a bowl. This will make it easier to pour right into our pot of water. So go ahead and set that to the side. And then I'm going over to our cooktop. I've got a medium-sized sauce pot. I'm going to add in about 6 to 7 cups of water. I'm immediately going to turn the heat up to about medium or low to medium. And then what we want to do is simply bring this to a very low simmer, just like this, with a few bubbles coming up from the bottom and barely breaking the surface. This is the exact consistency that you want. Now what I'm going to do is add in a little bit of vinegar. What this does is help add acid to the water and helps the whites in the egg coagulate more quickly so that it can wrap around that yolk. So what I want to do now is show you how to create that vortex. Just add a spoon and vigorously spin in a circular motion so that it creates this perfect vortex. This is just practice, my friends. See how it kind of is spinning in the center there? That's what you need to do. Maybe spin it for 10 seconds or so, nothing more than that. Okay, so now let's put it into practice. I'm going to get my vortex going. Yep, little water fell out there. Sorry about that. Spin it as quickly as you can and then grab that egg in the bowl and pour it directly to the center of that pot. You'll notice it will completely move around in a circle and the whites will sort of wrap around the yolk a little bit. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want to do. This is why you put the egg in the bowl first. If you were to try to crack that in directly to the water, I'm not exactly sure what would happen. Some shells could get in there. It won't be pretty. So add it to the bowl first. So after we are done cooking it, just using a slotted spoon, go ahead and fish it out of there. Tap off any excess water. And just to show you what the inside looks like, let's head over to our cutting board and grab a sharp knife. What we want to do is just cut it right down the center. Boom, a perfect over easy poached egg. A very runny yolk, but the whites are cooked. This is absolutely perfect, my friends. This is how I like to eat them. So now let's try to do an over medium poached egg. Let's go back over to our cooktop with the pot. Get that vortex going, spin in a circle. We call it the tornado as well, and pour the egg right in the center again. This one takes about 4 minutes and 30 seconds to get that perfect over medium yolk. Once it is done cooking, go ahead and grab your slotted spoon, knock off any excess water. Let's go back over to the cutting board. I want to slice the center of all these just to show you what the inside will look like. Again, grab that paring knife and then slice it right down the center. This is perfect. An over medium yolk will have a slightly runny yolk, but the outsides of the yolk will be firm, just like this. This is absolutely perfect, my friends. Okay, so now for the last egg, what I'm going to do is go back over to that burner. This is the last time you got to stir. Make that tornado, make that vortex spin vigorously in a circle. Once it is moving quickly, we're going to add the egg again right to the center. This one's going to cook for a little bit longer. It's going to take about 8 minutes to get a nice over hard egg. This is essentially almost just like hard boiling an egg, but it's poached without the shell, obviously. Go ahead and fish it back out there when it is done. We're going back over to our cutting board. Again, I want to show you each stage so that you can pick how you perfectly want to cook and serve this up. Give it a quick slice and then boom. Look at that. A nice over hard egg. Maybe a little bit soft in the center, but this is perfect. It's tender. It's still moist. It's going to be delicious. Okay,
One other way to poach an egg is actually to do it in more of a saute pan. So we're going to add in about 3 to 4 cups of water. Again, turn the heat immediately to medium or low to medium heat. Again, what we're looking for is that nice simmer. We're also going to add some vinegar in here. I've also heard it's to help neutralize any egg smell and, of course, to add some acid to the protein, which helps flavor it up. Okay, you see those bubbles that are coming up off the bottom but not really breaking the surface? This is perfect consistency, perfect temperature to start adding in our egg. Well, we don't have to spin a vortex. We don't have to do anything. We're just going to pour it right from the bowl into the pan. And if you're doing this method, add an additional 60 to 90 seconds to get the same internal temperatures as it does when creating the vortex in the pot. You can see the whites start to cook. The yolk starts to cook a little bit. Once it is to your perfect consistency based on time, again, grab your slotted spoon, give it a few knocks, and then just go ahead and set it to the side and however you're going to serve it up. This is perfect. I absolutely love doing both of these, but you know me, I always like to give you options and substitutions. Time to try it out.
No matter how you're cooking eggs, it is always about those fundamental basic cooking techniques. You could be hard boiling them, you could be frying them, you could be poaching them, whatever it is. You start putting these things into practice and all of your homemade food from scratch is going to be so much better. Now you can make a beautiful, delicious Eggs Benedict. We just showed you how to perfectly poach the eggs. I even gave you the times on how to get that perfect desired internal temperature for you, for your family, for your guests. Again, practice these techniques, my friends. It will pay off in the end. Now, let's plate up in slow-mo.
So to serve this up, just add the poached eggs to a plate, and of course, definitely with toast, bacon, whatever you got on the sides. But first, we definitely want to season up with some sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Let's go ahead and give it a little slice because you've seen it, but this time it's in slow-mo, so it's way cooler. And my, oh my, check out these perfectly poached eggs.
There is absolutely no doubt you have to check out my Eggs Benedict recipe. Now that you know how to perfectly poach eggs, it's going to be excellent every single time. We'll see you on there.